Few video game characters are as recognizable as Mario. It has numerous spin-off games, helping to secure its place as the best-selling video game franchise of all time. With so many great Mario games available, now is a great time to take a look at all the Mario titles currently offered on the Nintendo Switch. For as enjoyable as the 3D Mario games can be, a lot of people still prefer the 2D Mario experience, as evidenced by the success of the new Super Mario Bros. Line of games. Originally released for the Wii U, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe provides players with 164 well-crafted stages, with a selection of Luigi-oriented levels thrown in there just for good measure. It's an action-packed title and a good shout for those with a soft spot for 2D platformers. A smart, satisfying evolution on the weird synergy between Nintendo's Mario characters and Ubisoft's minion-like Rabbids creatures, Sparks of Hope adds more depth and dynamism to the tactical battling we first saw in Kingdom Battle back in 2017. It makes big leaps forward in terms of the flexibility of combat, adding new layers of customization and creativity, while only strengthening the sense of character that the animation team manages to pack into its heroes. No soft touch challenges even seasoned strategy players to carefully consider their moves as they master the vividly colorful battlefield. Dr. Mario is one of the titles available with a Nintendo Online subscription. It's basically a match-3 puzzle game with a Mario and medicine theme, but you might be surprised by how often you'll find yourself coming back to it. Though Dr. Mario's gameplay seems perfectly designed for the mobile gaming audience, Dr. Mario World didn't last long, ending its service after around 2 years. Luckily, Dr. Mario is still around to play on the Switch. It's nothing really new or innovative, but it does the job of occupying your time well when you need it. Credit where credit is due. The Golf Adventure Story mode in Mario Golf Super Rush is actually pretty good, and the decision to release free post-launch DLC for the game gave players a compelling reason to dive back in. However, the online experience offered here is pretty atrocious for a game that was released in 2021, with players having to jump through far too many hoops just to play online with their friends. In fairness to Princess Peach's #1 admirer, Super Mario Party is a respectable 11th console entry in a series that's taken the edge off family gatherings for over 2 decades now. As much as this minigames bonanza still has its moments, we'd rather be annihilating our in-laws and Smash Brothers. With just 4 boards to be getting on with, there's not much in the way of replay value to be had here either. £37. Like several of the other sports-themed Mario games that are available on the Switch, Mario Strikers Battle League suffers from a rather severe lack of content. At launch, there were just 10 playable characters to choose from, though more were added further down the line. The single-player experience on offer is also an incredibly brief one, with very little incentive for players to replay it after completing it for the first time. You have to go back all the way to the GameCube's Thousand-Year Door to find a truly great Paper Mario title, but the Origami King at least ranks as a mini-revival for the series, one with some joyously terrible puns, a surprisingly affecting cast of oddball sidekicks and some dizzyingly creative boss fights. While its innovative puzzle-based battle ring system is an initially entertaining spin on RPG combat, its repetitious nature does ultimately prove a drag on this 30-hour adventure. £50. Like the actual event itself, which ended up being delayed by a year due to the coronavirus pandemic, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 didn't quite live up to some of the great installments of yesteryear. To be clear, it can still be a lot of fun when played with friends and loved ones, but the single-player experience lacks depth despite some of the slight improvements found in the game story mode. A turn-based tactics game featuring Mario and some of Ubisoft's most recognizable weirdos, the Rabbids, might have been met with skepticism when it was first announced, but the XCOM-like foundations that Kingdom Battle is built upon are sturdy as any mainline Mario. This is a fun, tense adventure that ratchets up the challenge as you progress through, adding new mechanics while always delivering a healthy dose of humor. The only catch? Its 2022 sequel, Spark of Hope, is an even better take on the formula. Nintendo has always been a little behind the curve when it comes to network functionality, and this is once again evident in Super Mario Party. In addition to its substandard online multiplayer offerings, the game also suffers from a severe lack of content, with only a handful of party boards, several of which are disappointingly small. Some of the mini-games are pretty decent, but only 1 or 2 deserve a place on a list of the series' best. What happened to good tennis games? They literally don't exist anymore. That's save for Mario Tennis Aces, which is a colorful cartoon arcade twist on a precise, serious sport. It's super balanced and fun to play, while offering a surprising level of difficulty when you notch up the challenge. And it's worth a look in purely for the novelty of a game that appreciates the thrill of being center court. Sometimes, a cool concept is enough to sell a game more than the game itself. Although the main Mario Kart title on the Switch is still Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Nintendo released Mario Kart Live Home Circuit for a premium price. It adds a new gimmick to make things fresh: augmented reality tracks. The game comes packaged with remote-controlled cars that navigate real-life environments in a virtual space. It takes a bit of creativity and time to set something up, but similar to the Nintendo Labo, the results can be incredibly worth the time invested. It's a very creative title, albeit a tad pricier. The Mario game that never ends, Super Mario Maker 2 offers not just a story mode for you to play, but an entire suite of creation tools that lets you create your own Mario stages and play those that other players have made by heading onto the online bubble. It's a treasure trove of every player's own ideas, and there's something suitable for everyone too, children and adults alike, novices and pros. Released just a few years on from Super Mario Party, Mario Party Superstars addresses a lot of its predecessor's biggest issues. Rather than trying to rework the series formula, the game instead celebrates the ones that came before it, bringing back 5 classic boards and many of the most fondly remembered Mario Party mini-games of all time. As a result, it's arguably the best Mario Party game ever made and one of the best Mario Switch games to play with friends or loved ones. Although he's relegated to a supporting cast member in Luigi's Mansion 3, this is not just one of Mario's finest turns on the Nintendo Switch, but one of its best games full stop. Its adventure through a haunted house, complete with themed floors and packed with secrets and discoveries, is a gorgeously crafted puzzle adventure that earns its surprisingly long runtime. Fans of Luigi's Mansion and its Nintendo 3DS sequel might be slightly disappointed by the lack of major refinements for this third iteration, but the lavishly detailed environments and beautiful graphics make for one of the most atmospheric games either brother has been involved in. When Nintendo announced that it would be porting 3 of the best 3D Mario games of all time to the Nintendo Switch, excitement levels were pretty high. Sadly, the actual release of Super Mario 3D All-Stars wasn't quite as well celebrated, with many disappointed by the way that some of the games ran and bemused by the time-limited nature of the game's physical release. The games themselves are understandably pretty dated by modern standards, but can still be enjoyable for those able to cope with the many camera and control issues. With Odyssey, Nintendo took the original vision of a more open and exploratory Super Mario and made it a modern reality. Odyssey is all about finding stuff by heading off the beaten track in any one of its many biomes. You can quickly smash through its relatively short main campaign, which takes you through its myriad gorgeous worlds, but then you're set free and the game starts proper. With 900 hidden moons to discover, Odyssey is absolutely brimming with a whole variety of challenges and puzzles and secrets, from moons you spot on first run to cleverly disguised ones that you'll be searching for hours. Given the short life cycle of the Wii U and the limited number of people who ended up buying one, it's easy to understand why Nintendo would want to port some of the best Wii U games over to the Switch. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury is more than just a standard port though, also bringing with it a plethora of exciting new content that fans of 3D Mario titles will adore. It's hard to imagine how Nintendo could better the Mario Kart formula after Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch, another Mario game that was initially released on the Wii U. This one back in 2014, 8 Malawian Quatches Deluxe is an almost perfect refinement of the familiar kart franchise. The courses are impeccable, the range of styles, settings, ideas, and colors is enormous, and there's more than enough content and challenge to keep players busy for hours as they tackle each CC championship and try to unlock everything there is to offer. So, did you like the games I recommended? So leave your like, subscribe to the channel to follow me and activate the bell because I post a lot of videos on this channel and you can't miss it. I would like to remind you that in the description we have a list of different products that can make your gaming experience much better. If you want to buy, the link will be in the description. Anyway, thank you very much for following me this far and until next time, bye.